All right. Well, just got done riding my Zwift, riding the old Zwift. Did a good job. 30 miles. Yeah, it's kind of a bum deal that my audio didn't work, but I tested it out this time. It's going to work. Um, yeah, figure you guys probably can't read lips, so I will re-record. Oh man, I hate the BOA system on these stupid shoes. Sometimes they're stupid. God, come on, buddy. Man, I sweat so much, dude. I sweat so much. I have to do my laundry. Man, I love that bike. It's a lifesaver. I've only gained 4 pounds, so that's not bad. I mean, I'm walking, it's cold. Plus, then I'm biking whenever I get the chance. So, whew, man, the daggone sunlight, man. Ah, I want to turn my laptop because I have it set up right. I'm gonna put my shirt there to try to block it. Yeah, so let me put a freaking towel on my. Yeah, because I can't use my phone for long videos. For some stupid reason, the phone will just stop recording. Here's a towel. Towel, much needed towel. Oh, man. People are sick at work. I'm lucky so far, haven't got sick. You know, I take zinc and magnesium, all 8 forms, and vitamin C. I think it helps. So I was thinking about, confidence. They're talking about like the confidence in a dollar has something to do with the way people will spend it. I think when it comes to work, the confidence to be able to grow on the job has an effect on how people will stay on a job. Because if you don't really have confidence that you can grow on a job, are you really going to be that loyal? Or are you going to always be looking, So it's tricky at the post office. I mean, there's a lot of different jobs, but they're different jobs. So seniority obviously has a lot of negatives, but, when it comes to bidding something, seniority is what it is. But it's not like getting a different route is a promotion, So it's tricky in a job that, with growth. Because you want to be able to, we've been trained to think that, you put out more, you're going to grow more. And it's kind of tricky with the post office because it's a seniority job. And you doing more isn't going to make you get paid more. And that's not what's going to be the basis of you climbing. It's going to be whoever has the seniority. So it's tricky. But when it comes to bias, I think a lot of people have bias and they deny that they have bias. And, you can be a really good worker, but if they think you're weird, they can get in your way. I think, especially in Massachusetts, we fancy ourselves to be progressive and advocates, but really a lot of Massachusetts people are really normalists. They really are in tune to what's normal, your normal personality. I will give an example. Last year, it was warm one day and they didn't get rid of the slush off the roads. And then it froze. And so the roads were all glare ice. And I'm sliding backwards in the vehicle and I'm thinking I'm by myself because I was. And I didn't realize how loud I was. Somebody in a house down the road a little bit heard me and filmed it. And I caught some flack for that. They couldn't prove it was me, but they heard my voice. And, in my mind, the dick is the person filming it, posting it on Facebook. They're judging me for being angry. So, what's wrong with being angry? You know what I mean? There's a lot of that kind of like, ooh, you're not supposed to be angry. There's a lot of judgment on that here. It's like just because you're grown up doesn't mean you're going to stop being angry. And I really like that. Henry Rollins talked about that, and I identified with that too, because it's just because, anger is natural, and that's what creates, fakeness, because everyone's really wanting to put their best face forward because they don't want to be judged, So, yeah, it's tricky. And that's, I think, a big roadblock in Massachusetts, especially, is they're judging you based on how normal they think you are. That's how they're going to view you, as your intelligence and your competency and how you can grow on a job. A lot of it's based on how they like you. So, yeah, that's, one thing I was thinking, that seniority is good because it's about the job. You're not violating any rights or crimes, then it doesn't matter what your personality is. What matters is the results of what you're doing, that you're doing your job. And I think really, if you really want to celebrate diversity, it is focusing on the results, because it doesn't matter who you are, it's the results that matter. So that really embraces individuality more than the other way around of trying to ignore the results and trying to be unconditional, when that actually creates a status quo. So I think actually focusing on the condition really is helpful. I can see why people say, oh, you should be loved unconditionally. But really, focusing on the job and the results ignores who you are. And so therefore it doesn't matter who you are if they're ignoring who you are. So that's pretty much a good solution to individuality, in my opinion. Just thinking about that as the answer, maybe the adage of how do we take care of the group, but yet the individual at the same time, right? It's a tricky situation. So, yeah, so things are going well. Settled in. I almost bid on a route, but I'm happy being the T6, which is like 5 routes that I cover. I think I've already said this. So it's been pretty cold, man. Last year we had a couple weeks of coldness, that's for sure. But this year is freaking brutal. It's like 6 degrees is a high during the day. And at night, believe it or not, the cold hands these cold hands really work. I'm surprised. I put them underneath my glove, and really, what a lifesaver. Um, I have the layers. Um, um, yeah, it's crazy. A raincoat it's insane how expensive a raincoat is. So I'm not going to buy a raincoat with my allowance. So we get $550 for the allowance, and I'm not going to lose $500 of it for one item, a raincoat. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do it. I bought a bearskin raincoat, 99 bucks, and then I got the fleece liner, 169 total altogether. That's a fraction of the cost, and I got navy blue. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to buy like a post office patch, and I'll get some professional to sew the post office patch over the bearskin brand on the chest. So the color will match, and it'll have the postal icon on there. So that'll be my makeshift uniform for rain. It's kind of a racket, I swear. It's a racket. Um, I can't believe 450 to 500 bucks for a raincoat. 139 for the cheapest pants. That's crazy. Um, so yeah, um, can't wait to spring. Um, but things have calmed down. Haven't gotten in any trouble. I got my taxes done. I'm going to get like $2,500 back. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Um, I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to have my car paid off pretty soon. So I'm pretty psyched about that. That's a milestone. Um, so yeah, pretty nerve-wracking about uh, about the economic situation in the country, of course. Um, so yeah, so I hope you guys are doing well, and I will post more videos. Um, I've been posting my Swift session videos. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.